Humanity's impact on the planet has been profound. From fire, intensive hunting and agriculture, it has accelerated into a rapid climate change, widespread pollution, plastic accumulation, species invasions and a mass extinction of species. Changes that have left a permanent mark in the geological record of the rock. Yet the proposal for a new unit of geological time, the Anthropocene epoch, has raised debate far beyond the scientific community. The Anthropocene has emerged as a powerful new narrative of the relationship between humans and nature. Evolution. This painting shows Coalbrookdale in its heyday. I was fascinated by the old blast furnaces and the remains of industrial processes. Looking at what I saw then and comparing it to paintings of the time, it is almost impossible to equate one with the other. The land has reintegrated man's industry back into itself. This is a photograph I took of Coalbrookdale Ironworks when I returned in 1989. It is my first serious attempt using Ansel Adams' zone system. The photo reflects what was in my mind's eye looking over the ironworks. My reading at the time centred around Ansel Adams and his zone system. I read various books on the subject, including The Camera, The Negative and The Print. This body of work gave me my grounding in the mechanics of photography and gave me the tools that allow me to record the vision in my mind's eye. Another influence at the time was Faye Godwin. I found her book Land to be inspirational. I love her use of light and tone and the detail brought out by side lighting, showing every fold in a landscape. Faye Godwin showed the land as a working landscape, not as a country park. This is a photograph of Bedlington Lane Waterworks, a place I return to often. Looking back at the images I made, my focus was industrial and landscape. This was not a conscious decision, but driven by my instincts. My own practice made use of black and white and tended to have a graphic feel and be low key. The mantra, expose for the shadows and develop for the highlights, eventually led to me building my own darkroom, giving me control over the whole process, camera, negative and print. My passion for photography has for the most part been about the land in all its forms and man's relationship to it. I have found over the years that I have been drawn back to certain places, not really knowing why. It has taken some time to figure out that familiarity gives a sense of place and belonging. It acts as a gravitational sink. You are drawn to keep returning, each time developing a more in-depth understanding of place. My current practice spans the last 18 months. My practice has expanded to include not only man acting as an agent of change, but also other forms of natural force. My practice uses low-key, high-contrast images to show the imposing nature of the land along with equal weight given to land and sky. I try to depict the history of the landscape, how it has been shaped primarily by man but also by forces throughout history. My influences have grown to include Vincent Versace and Jeff Shue. Both played a large part in the development of digital photography post-processing. I admire their exacting approach to the process and their creative solutions to problems. I have also been looking at other practitioners working in the same area of interest. I like the way Crystal Labasse uses images taken over a period of time to show changes to the land. Her use of subdued tones, primarily cooler hues, and her use of panoramic crop give the scene a sense of remoteness. I also enjoy T.J. Cooper's work. His use of long exposure and low light to blur movement, and the lack of horizon in a number of his images, gives an abstract feeling to his work, a dream quality. His images are devoid of man and animal and concentrate on the landscape. I continue to be drawn to explore the theme of natural forces acting on the land, including the actions of men. Often the oldest evidence of man's past occupancy will be boundaries. These can take many forms: stone walls, boundary stones, ditches and hedgerows. This will be the focus of my research project. The initial phase of the project will consider hedgerows. Managed by man, over the centuries they are living records, some hedgerows dating back to the Bronze Age. I will be looking at their composition and exploring the layers and parts that make up a Devon hedge, photographing individual species in situ and showing them as part of the whole. Each hedgerow is its own unique blend of species, so I have decided to concentrate on a section of hedgerow on Haverley Moor, a place I know well.